Aaron Pryor's fists were a blur. His speed was unnatural, like his punches arrived before they were even thrown. They called him the Hawk, because once he locked eyes with a target, it was already too late. In the ring, his energy was wild, violent, unstoppable. But outside it, he was in a much darker fight, the kind that doesn't end with a bell. Pryor had everything it took to become one of the greatest boxers who ever lived. Skill, power, heart. But drugs and bad choices began to tear his life apart. What followed wasn't just a fall. It was a slow unraveling that cost him his health, his reputation, and nearly his soul. This is the story of a champion who won battles in the ring but lost the war outside it. Born on October 20th, 1955, in Cincinnati, Ohio, Aaron Pryor came into a world that seemed determined to hold him down. He was raised in poverty, surrounded by crime and addiction. His home life was rough. His mother, Sarah, tried to keep things together, but life had dealt them a hard hand. As a teenager, Pryor had already experienced more pain than most grown men. He wasn't chasing dreams. He was trying to survive. But then, something broke through the noise. Boxing. He found his way to a gritty gym in Cincinnati known as Over the Rhine, where champions were made. For the first time, he had purpose. He had direction. He had something to fight for that wasn't survival. From the beginning, Pryor stood out. He wasn't just fast, he was ferocious. He didn't box like everyone else. He attacked like a storm. Coaches quickly saw that he was something rare. They gave him the nickname the Hawk, because once he spotted an opening, he never let go. He wasn't just trying to win, he was trying to break you. His amateur record was stunning: 204 wins, only 16 losses. He won national titles, dominated the Golden Gloves, and was poised to join the 1976 Olympic team, the same team that launched Sugar Ray Leonard into stardom. But Pryor didn't make the final cut. Many believed it had nothing to do with talent and everything to do with politics and image. He wasn't clean-cut, he wasn't easy to market, and he never forgot it. When Pryor turned professional in 1976, he did it with a chip on his shoulder. He wasn't just fighting for belts, he was fighting to be noticed. He once said, "They never gave me anything. I had to take it all." And take it he did. His early fights ended in chaos. Opponents were overwhelmed. He threw punches from angles nobody could predict and seemed to enjoy every second of the violence. Unlike Leonard or Hearns, Pryor didn't have grace. He had fury. But beneath all that power was a deep hunger for respect, for validation, for proof that he belonged among the greats. He wasn't just winning, he was trying to make the world say his name. By 1980, Pryor had gone 24-0 with 22 knockouts. That same year, he demolished Antonio Cervantes to win the WBA junior welterweight title. It should have been his breakout moment, but the top names avoided him. Leonard, Hearns, Duran, they stayed away. Publicly, they blamed money. Privately, they feared him. While others landed magazine covers and million-dollar deals, Pryor was left fighting in small arenas for smaller crowds. The disrespect burned deep, and it made him even more dangerous in the ring. He defended his title with ease, yet the media barely took notice. Outside the ropes, he was unpredictable. He didn't play nice with promoters, he wasn't flashy or charming, and he didn't care about fitting in. But inside the ring, he made perfect, terrifying sense. He moved like a whirlwind, impossible to time, impossible to control. That's why when the Alexis Arguello fight was announced, people knew something big was coming. Arguello was a legend, and Pryor was the storm waiting to crash into him. On November 12th, 1982, at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Aaron Pryor faced Alexis Arguello in what was billed as the Battle of Champions. The world was watching. It was Pryor's biggest stage, and he was ready to take it. From the first bell, the fight was a war. Arguello was skilled and powerful, but Pryor kept coming. He smiled through punches and launched wild flurries in return. Every round was brutal. Every moment felt like it could be the end. Then came the 13th round. On camera, Pryor's trainer Panama Lewis asked for a specific water bottle, the one he had mixed. Moments later, Pryor exploded with energy. In the 14th round, he stopped Arguello, TKO. But the win was stained. What was in the bottle? Was it legal? Nobody ever found out for sure. Pryor always said he didn't know anything about it. But the suspicion followed him. Even so, a year later, he fought Arguello again and left no doubt. He dominated from the start and knocked him out in the 10th round. It should have been Pryor's defining moment, but something was already wrong. Behind the scenes, cocaine was taking over his life. After the second Arguello fight, Pryor had it all: fame, an undefeated record, and respect. But drugs were eating away at everything. He missed press events, skipped training, disappeared for days. When he did show up, he looked lost. His workouts were no longer sharp. His mind wasn't there. People around him were worried, but few dared to confront him. He denied having a problem. "I'm just tired," he told reporters. But insiders knew better. His behavior was erratic. His weight shifted wildly. His training suffered. By 1984, he was chasing paydays instead of legacy. He took smaller fights for quick cash. He wasn't losing yet, but he wasn't the same. Then, in 1985, he shocked the world by announcing his retirement. He said he wanted to spend more time with family. But the truth was simple. He was no longer capable of being the fighter he once was. The drugs had taken hold. Between 1985 and 1987, Aaron Pryor vanished. No fights, no appearances, just silence. Rumors spread. Some said he was homeless. Others said he was living in cheap motels, surrounded by addicts and dealers. He sold off memorabilia to fund his addiction. Belts, gloves, trophies. Nothing was sacred anymore. His family tried everything. Interventions, pleas. But Pryor kept slipping deeper. One friend said they visited his home and found it filthy, with food rotting and trophies smashed on the floor. By 1987, he wanted to fight again. But the state refused to license him. His vision was failing. Years of abuse had left him with a detached retina. Still, Pryor wouldn't give up. He trained in small gyms. He begged for chances. But promoters stayed away. Nobody wanted to see a legend fall apart in slow motion. He was no longer a contender. He was a warning. Then, in 1987, Pryor was finally granted a license after claiming he was clean. He stepped into the ring against Bobby Joe Young. It was supposed to be his comeback. Instead, it was a defeat. He looked slow, off balance. In the 7th round, Young dropped him. It was Pryor's first loss, and a devastating one. He fought a few more times after that. Small fights, low pay, no attention. He told anyone who would listen that he was back. But fans knew the truth. The Hawk was gone. All that remained was a shadow. By 1991, the comeback ended without ceremony. No farewell, no crowd, just silence. Boxing had moved on. Pryor was left chasing something that was already gone. In the early 1990s, Pryor finally entered long-term rehab. He had tried before, but this time he stayed. The drugs had ruined his body and nearly destroyed his spirit. But he was tired. Tired of the lies, the pain, the loneliness. He began speaking to kids, sharing his story. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He told the truth about fame, about addiction, about losing it all. His wife, Frankie, was the anchor that kept him grounded. She stayed through everything: the arrests, the overdoses, the relapses. When he finally got clean, he credited her first. She was his strength when he had none. Pryor rebuilt his relationships with his children. He mentored young boxers, warning them about the traps he had fallen into. He found peace through faith. He wasn't looking for fame anymore. He just wanted to be a better man while there was still time. But the damage had been done. His body was wrecked. His fortune is gone. His name, once feared, was now often forgotten. He had no mansion, no sports cars, no glory days to relive. His legacy was reduced to whispers. The great fights were remembered more for controversy than excellence. When Aaron Pryor died on October 9, 2016, at age 60, there were no huge tributes, no national moments of silence, just a few articles, some tweets, and a small nod from boxing circles. For a man who gave everything to the sport, the silence was loud. Yet those who truly understood boxing never forgot. Fighters like Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao saw Pryor as a blueprint. His style, his fire, his pressure, they studied him. They respected him. They knew what he was. Aaron Pryor didn't get the endorsements. He didn't get the movie. He didn't get the happy ending. But he survived. He clawed his way back from the edge. His story wasn't about redemption. It was about endurance. About facing the worst version of yourself and still standing. And maybe that's why his story hurts. Because inside every punch he threw was a man crying out to be seen. And in every fall he took, there was a warning. Talent alone won't save you. Fame doesn't care. Addiction doesn't forgive. Aaron the Hawk Pryor was more than a cautionary tale. He was a force. And when that force burned out, what was left behind was unforgettable.